Dear friends of Artelino, my name is Dieter Ventura and I'm the owner and manager of the Artelino company. Today I want to give you a short introduction to Kuniyoshi Utagawa, a famous Japanese printmaker from the 19th century. He lived from 1797 until 1861. That was the late Edo period, a period of political oppression. Kuniyoshi was a student of the famous Kuniyoshi Utagawa from the Utagawa school, and Kuniyoshi's original name was Yoshisaburo. The Japanese had a habit of giving a student, once he had finished his apprenticeship, a new name, a special artist name, and that was then usually a combination of a part of the master's name and his original own name. So out of Toya Kuni and Yoshi Saburo became Kuniyoshi. For the young Kuniyoshi, life was tough in the beginning as an artist, and it is said that he even had to sell tatami mats in order to support himself and make a living. He had his breakthrough in 1827 with a series titled 108 Heroes of Suikoden. Well, that was a novel, originally a Chinese novel, but very popular in Japan, about 108 honorable bandits, kind of Robin Hoods. And Kuniyoshi had received the commission to illustrate this series, and it was very, very successful. So Kuniyoshi continued to make warrior prints, and he was even nicknamed the warrior print Kuniyoshi. We've set up a few of his prints here, and most of them are actually depictions of warrior scenes, like this one, showing the failed attack of the Mongols in Japan. And it failed because their fleet was destroyed by a huge storm called kamikaze in Japan. And a few years later the same happened again. The Mongols tried again to invade Japan, and Japan was again saved by a kamikaze storm. Yeah, after this successful subject of warrior prints, Kuniyoshi turned to other subjects. Some even look a little bit Western-like. And well, there are stories that Kuniyoshi owned a small collection of Western prints, which at that time was strictly forbidden in Japan. In 1843, Kuniyoshi also got into conflict with the Japanese authorities with one of his woodblock prints. The ruling shogun felt offended, and Kuniyoshi had to pay a fine and was reprimanded, and the woodblock was destroyed. Kuniyoshi was, as a personality, well, not very diplomatic, but really a likable guy, rather straightforward, and his students reported that he liked cats, that there were always half a dozen cats strolling around in his house, and he depicted a lot of cats in his woodblock prints, a little bit here, a little bit there, and well, these prints with the cats, showing cats, are especially coveted by collectors today. And later Yoshitoshi established his own school, and well, that school had two famous students, well, later famous woodblock printmakers. One was Yoshitoshi and the other his rival Yoshiko, well, but that is another story. For today, I want to conclude by pointing to one of our next online auctions in Japanese prints, starting on March 25 and running until March 29 of 2009. And this auction will present these woodblock prints that you can see here. Remember, Artelino has at least one online auction of Japanese prints every week, and I will be pleased to see you there. for today. Thanks for watching and have a good week.